Hey everyone, let's talk about what everyone is whispering about in fitness class, but no one's discussing openly. I'm talking about GLP-1 medications. You know, the ones that celebrities swear they're not taking and then all of a sudden they look different. Today, we're going to have an honest conversation about the new weight loss landscape and what it means for all of us trying to figure out our health journey. I'm Jodi.
And I'm Jen. And you know, I have some huge thoughts around this whole GLP-1 conversation, but I think as much as I have thoughts, I have more questions.
And let's approach this with, curiosity and not so much judgment because we're not medical professionals. We're just
like everybody out here going, what is this fad? What's happening with it? Do we need to get on board? Do we not? What are the struggles? What are the successes? And let's just get into it.
Well, why don't we look at the celebrity factor first? Because that's probably the most outstanding example of how GLP-1s are having an impact on, the people that are coming to our fitness facility. So let's talk about celebrities. Some have been really open about it and said, hey, yes, I'm trying this out, like Oprah, for example, and she went ahead and did it. But let's be honest, if we look at Oprah's history, she has been battling weight loss and the weight loss demons her entire life and has never lied about it.
She's one of the top three, I think, and is very open about it.
And she's never lied about it. She's always talked about it on her show. And so I think that it was brilliant that she came forward and said, I am where I am today, right now, because of GLP-1s, and I feel freaking fabulous, and it's working for me. And it may work for you, but it may not. So I think she's a shining example of openness and full disclosure. And so people understand what they're seeing when they see Oprah's changing body shape again.
I think so too. I think if you look at the celebrity industry as a whole, it's all visual. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's either static photos or videos. That's really how we see them. It's not like we are hanging out with them and we see them on a day-to-day basis.
Yep.
So with that being said, it's all image all the time,
Yep.
Right? Don't you remember the whole movement where it was about body positivity? Don't be ashamed. It's okay if you're 300 pounds. If you feel great, that's what you're going to do. And it's great. But now we have this solution, right?
We have a tool.
And what's happening is people are able to change their bodies. Now, let's be clear. Weight and our relationship with food and how we either gain weight, we lose weight, or we change weight, a lot of times for people is a symptom of their mental state, right? So
Absolutely.
You hear more and more obesity is really a neurological disorder. It is not about, I can't keep weight off. There are triggers. So GLP-1s really turn off a neurosensor in your brain to say, I'm hungry. Right? That's really what this is about.
Exactly. So and it's not basic science, but the basic science behind it is it tells your body you're not hungry.
You're not hungry. Exactly.
But what it doesn't correct is the mental health aspects that you were probably dealing with that led you to that incredible weight gain in the first place. And maybe it's a childhood trauma. Maybe it's an adult trauma. Maybe it's a health-related issue that just triggered it for you. It doesn't matter. If you're going to be going into this GLP-1 family
right.
and losing the weight, how are you supporting it on the mental health side of things as well? So let's acknowledge it. Let's give it a nod and say, I think that's something that's going to creep up in the future.
Yep.
Because people are currently riding that train of the GLP-1s and embracing and enjoying this weight loss and looking fabulous. It's also triggering a whole other world of additional surgeries because they have to get the skin removed. Like for people who are having that dramatic,
yes.
I've lost 100 pounds, I've lost 150 pounds weight. Your skin doesn't just go right back to where it was.
No, they have to do the surgery for it. Absolutely. If you look at the celebrity group that kind of spearheads this stuff, I almost equate this a little bit to the movement of Botox how many years ago, right?
Oh, that's true.
See, people didn't want to say, oh, yeah, I've done that. Oh, I've gone under the needle.
It was a big secret.
It was a big
dirty
secret.
Little secret.
Now everybody's like, oh, yeah, I got to go get my tox.
Exactly.
Whatever,
Exactly.
And I do think there is some parallel to that. So we have a celebrity group who probably don't need to lose 150 pounds. Maybe Oprah is an outlier, and she probably didn't even need to lose 150 pounds.
No, I'm sure she didn't.
But I do think there is a huge group of people. I mean, obesity is the number one issue in our healthcare system in the United States of America. So it's not without saying that this is going to be a popular category of drugs for people, right? So then I think that's a different category, right? These are the people that are saying, hey, listen, I would love to go work out. I want to go work out. I try to work out, but I have a weight issue. And absolutely, I think that this is a breakthrough for medicine. Now, let's get back to the celebrity group. The people that, do they need to lose 30 pounds? Maybe, maybe not. So how are they going to do that, right? I think age plays into it. Menopause is real. I'm in it. I'm in perimenopause, and so we know that every year we get older, we have a different recipe for how to keep our weight, not down, but our weight healthy, right? Our weight in check. So it really comes to reason, okay, well, how much of this do I need? And how much weight do I want to lose? And what else do I do with it? So I think that while GLP-1s are a great tool, I think they're a tool in a bigger box set of resources to keep you healthy.
It's a part of the package that you and your personal physician or weight loss consultant or whoever it is you work with, you need a program in place that supports you along your journey. Let's look at, we've got the group of people who are extremely obese, and then we've got the people who want to only lose 20 pounds.
20 to 40 pounds, yeah.
So let's look at those two people. First of all, it's originally designed to deal with diabetes.
Correct.
And then by the very nature of people with diabetes who tend to be overweight, by the nature of that disease, they all of a sudden found that they were losing all this weight. And what was happening was that they were getting stronger hearts and they were getting better. Their organ health was becoming better. So it was kind of an accidental
down
find.
With the extra weight on them.
Right.
So you can see that there is a definite space here.
Right.
Not only for people that need to lose a lot of weight, but people that, hey, maybe they are struggling with 20 or 40 pounds.
Yeah.
So then I think the next question is, okay, let's take that group. Let's take the 20 to 40 pounds people. Because we are in the business of health and fitness, right?
Absolutely.
So how does that come over and wash over what we're doing, or does it? I don't know. Here's what I would say. It's very customized to what you want. It's you can't ignore the fact that if you have or are taking something, a drug, you are shutting down a neuroreceptor that's saying, I don't need to eat. Thus meaning you're not going to intake as many calories. Calories are fuel. That like a caloric measure is fuel. So if you are taking a big, let's say at our studio, a big Danz and Sayin class, it's a 700 calorie workout in 45 minutes to an hour. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're on GLP-1s, you're going to get handed your ass because you are going to be exhausted almost to the point where you don't know if you can keep up because you don't have the energy. You don't have enough calories in your body to do this, right?
Yeah.
So it really becomes a balance and a balancing act. And then it becomes, okay, well, wait a minute. I want to do a Danz and Sayin class because it feels so good. It's so fun. It's such a big power class. I need the muscle. I need the energy too.
And that's the thing. We're hearing that there's an energy loss because let's be honest.
And it's dramatic.
And exactly. And we do have members who do take GLP-1s to support their weight loss journey.
Absolutely.
And so we see these people regularly and they're, the ones that are openly discussing it with us are asking a lot of questions like, well, I want to take this class, but I just don't have the energy for it. And so I find I'm not coming as often as I would like to. So now they're looking for this nutritional assistance, which is something that we're working at partnering in with our business, of course, because it goes hand in hand with the fitness. So now we need to make sure that we're helping them because they come to us and ask these questions. They're asking you all the time. So you have to be able to give them information that says, make sure you're getting enough protein, make sure you are getting some carbohydrates, make sure you're eating, vegetables. So if you're only allowed to eat 1,000 or 1,200 calories a day, and you're going to do a 700 calorie workout, you have to figure out a way.
Your recipe might be off because you just don't have the checking account of calories.
Exactly.
To be able to use. They're not there.
Exactly. So, and I think people who are probably on GLP-1s, they may or may not have a habit of tracking their food, but food tracking, and I'm not saying counting calories it's more counting nutrients. It's making sure that when you do take in calories, they really have to be the right ones. And so that sort of has become something that's impacted us in a way that maybe we didn't expect as much, because we thought we've got this amazing dance studio, this fitness studio where we offer all these well-rounded programs and classes where people can go. And then all of a sudden you find yourself getting asked questions about nutrition.
Correct.
And so we're having to pivot a little bit and make sure that we're able to...
That we're being comprehensive, because it's not just about working out.
Exactly.
Here's what I will say, and in my hardest of hearts, like, I think that GLP-1 is a tool or a source of dieting, okay? There's a lot of mental work that goes into it, and when you come off of it, it's not like you stay there unless you have made all of those habits and that transformation of those habits to say, I'm not hungry, or I'm going to have some discipline the way I eat. There have been too many people that fail on it because the minute you come off of them, you go back mentally to where you were. I think the 800-pound elephant in the room is not, oh my gosh, are people using them or not? It's really, okay, if they're using them, they don't look healthy a lot of times because they're too tired to work out. And they're losing as much muscle mass as they're losing fat. They're losing overall body content, which is a mix of muscle and fat. You know, there are a lot of people that have said, will you please do just a GLP-1 strength training class? Because it's taking those people all the way back to the beginning, because they've depleted so much of their muscle mass because they've lost so much. Right? So they are totally out of shape, even though they can fit into their size 2 or their size 4 jeans or dress or whatever. So that feels great. But they don't like that they don't look physique-wise sleek and lean and toned. So I think there is a huge piece of the puzzle that we are going to continue to find ourselves exploring.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's look at this and how it impacts Danz Insanity Studios, because, you know, for example, let's say someone comes into our studio and they've just lost 100 pounds on their GLP-1. They're feeling fabulous. They're correcting all the things that they're doing wrong with their eating. They're trying to get the best nutrients in. And now their doctor has said to them, but you know what's missing is the muscle strength that you've lost and you've depleted throughout this weight loss process. How would you kind of help them get started? Because let's assume they really are completely out of shape. Like they're starting over.
When you're on GLP-1s, you're going to have some kind of weight loss, whether it's slow going or it's rapid. And part of that is going to be losing muscle mass. So really you have to approach this with strength training, at least with strength training, especially for women, to make it functional. And not just to walk into any old gym and start thinking you have to start lifting heavy weights, because that is not the answer. You also don't need to be doing it on your own. And you also don't necessarily have to be paying a trainer bazillions of dollars to do it as well. You need to find a place that is, I personally think, that's a little bit more women focused, that is a little bit more about functional movement. You know, you're trying to be safe. You're trying to build strength. When we start getting older and intrinsically our hormones start changing, we need strength training, but we don't need to be bodybuilding in a gym. I think there's a big, huge misnomer for that. So I would say if somebody came in with that request, I would say start in one of our classes. It's called a Barbie boot camp.
Oh, and
I love
that.
It's so silly, but you know, we did it tongue in cheek to make sure women aren't scared of strength training. Because I personally think we have one of the best strength training programs in the area, because we're very functional. We're very customized. We make it make sense, especially for women. I might build muscle differently than somebody else, but this is why we start at lower weights to see what every kind of body is receptive to. If you have a harder time building strength and building muscle, our trainers are going to put you up a little bit more in weight. I think our strength training program is also backed by our bar classes, which are second to none. It's amazing what those damn 4-pound freaking pink weights will do to you. Yeah, it's not nice, but it's good for you.
But
you know,
that's the thing, and we don't want people to feel intimidated by it either. So it's like you can walk in to this studio at basically any fitness level and find yourself growing with the people that are with you. So you adapt. You go into Barbie boot camp, and the girl beside you and the girl 2 over from you is going to be lifting different ways. They're going to be modifying different ways, and you're all being supported by a group instructor who is trained and is watching your moves and making sure that you're doing them correctly. So it's almost like personal training, but it's included, which is an incredible deal that we have. That's kind of a little secret, really, when you think about it. A lot of people don't discover it till they come in. It's good for you to say that, if we're needing to start building muscle, and then when we start building muscle, they can also start introducing the cardio classes as well. And that's what we've seen. I mean, we've seen this happen, and continuously we're getting feedback like, you have changed my life. Right. This place has changed my life because I'm safe here. It's not a huge studio where I get lost in all the big burly workout people, and that's men and women.
And I have to show up. You know, is that like it's like they want to show up because it's fun.
Yeah.
Let's face it. We sort of built a she shed.
Yeah.
Dudes, welcome.
It's a complete
It's a little bit of a she shed.
Yeah.
But it's a party. It's fun. It's not like, oh my God, I gotta go this, or I gotta hit this, or I gotta go this. It's fun. It's like having a party with a bunch of play dates and doing some killer kick-ass workouts, you know?
You never see people drag themselves in. And if they do drag themselves in, they sure as hell aren't dragging themselves out.
I mean, they're literally regenerated. They're rejuvenated.
Yeah.
They don't walk out like they're like schlepping out in a pile of heap, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
They're just on fire, ready to go.
So GLP-1 or not, this is a no judgment zone. We accept that all of the people who belong to this community are on their own fitness journey.
Yes. And I think GLP-1ers that come in, you know, stop and ask us, hey, this is where I've been. This is what I've been up to.
Yep.
Give me a recipe. Like let's start and build you a recipe. I think that's the best thing you can do, because if left to your own druthers, like you might be like, hey, I'm going to go into the Saturday Dance Sanity class. And you can, of course you can, but it's a big signature class and it will hand you your ass. It just will. And so if that's your first experience and you're a little too overwhelmed, we could have maybe eased you into it a little bit better, and you found your way through a Learn It class, which is a little bit slower. You learn technique, or a Pilates class, or a bar class, or something else.
Yeah, exactly.
So I would say in the totality of this is that GLP-1s have their place. They're definitely not going away, but they do not replace good eating habits and healthy exercise for your body. And I think that is where everybody is going to get a little lost, because the devil's always in the details, right? Yes. It's like saying, I want to eat clean, so therefore I'm just never going to eat like a Dorito again. Okay, well, that's all fine and great. But if you have that discipline, God love you, because like 99.9% of people don't.
Most people
right?
don't.
So the devil's in the details. So you have to learn, even though, oh my God, I'm married to one. He's like, I don't do moderation. Let's do like the lemon juice cayenne pepper diet. Oh my God, he made me do that. By after day 5, I wanted to eat my shoe. Like, no, like that.
It sounds horrible.
It doesn't work. Oh my God, right? Can I get a what? Can everybody out there listening going, yep, done those crazy things? Like,
drop in the comments all the different diet programs you have tried, and don't kid yourself. We have tried them all.
We have too. We've been there. Don't worry.
All.
No shame. No shame in the game.
And what happens ultimately is, sometimes you find one that works for you, but the problem is the sustainability of staying on such a program. No. And I think that may eventually happen with the GLP-1s. At this point,
we don't know.
If you're on it, you're on it for life. Quite frankly, that's the message they're delivering to people, even though the dose goes down.
Because it's a business.
Well, it's a business, but it's a diet program.
Yes.
Now,
right.
And
if
so
you remove that diet program,
exactly, you're going to fall. And ultimately, it gets back to the whole, if you're doing it naturally and it's harder, you're going to be more balanced. It's going to take longer for you to get to your goals. But we acknowledge that the GLP-1 is giving you a reset. So take advantage of that reset.
It is.
And make sure you include fitness as a top priority, because while you are on your GLP-1 and your energy is a little low, it's really important that you're integrating a strong workout program to support you. And you will be more successful.
And that is built in strength, but is built in cardio hit as well. Because that's one thing too that I don't think we touched on as much. Strength is important, but cardio hit is right up there. So many times people will replace their cardio only with strength, and then they wonder why they're gaining weight.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, yes, muscle does weigh more than fat. However, not 20 pounds more.
Not 20 pounds. Yeah.
GLP-1s, I think, are here to stay. I am very interested to explore more about the microdosing of GLP-1s. And I've heard that more and more. And I think that's something that's going to be, in my idea, more prophylactic. I've heard it also being complemented with injectable peptides, things that people or women that are going through menopause, they really like, because I know that menopause belly, even that perimenopausal little Buddha belly, as we both powders.
Yeah, we got those.
It's real, and like, what do you tell the person like Jodi and Jenn sitting right here that are super duper in shape, but we are still going through all of those hormonal changes.
Still happening.
And
we're fighting.
We're still those people to say, tell me more about this GLPs, even though I work out 12 million times a week.
The curiosity is massive.
So I do think microdosing a GLP-1 with maybe a hormone or whatever your cocktail of choices. No, but I think that there is going to be more out there about that, because it's more about maintenance, right?
Yeah.
Or about keeping that 10 pounds that you always grapple with off. Right. And then also having the best, most premium energy possible to play with during your exercise throughout the week.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's keep an eye on what's happening, and might be a great opportunity to bring in an expert to talk about that at some point. I think that would be a really great conversation we can have where, today we're voicing our opinions.
Yes.
Because we are not experts in the field. But what's happened is we've been encountering it a lot now, because
we've been getting asked a lot of questions.
Yeah, people are opening up. They're being more full disclosure about the fact that they're on, because it's now socially acceptable. So I think the reality check is it's here to stay. We totally embrace and accept it. So if you are living in that world where you're on the GLP-1, you happen to be living in the Raleigh area, we want you to drop in. You are welcome in this studio, and you are not alone in this studio. We are here to support your journey, no matter what that journey looks like.
Absolutely. Well, I think this concludes our GLP-1 discovery conversation. More to come.
Absolutely.
I think microdosing is going to be maybe a topic of conversation in the future. So we'll get back to you. Also with probably one of the specialists in the area that we trust and know.
They can really touch on this hot topic that's coming next. And it's already, the curiosity is huge, but it's probably still more of an undercover secret. Like, people aren't talking about it as much. So
agreed.
It's building, and it'll be important for us to talk about it, because we will be dealing with it. It will, again, become an open conversation where people say, yeah, I'm Sugarless 10 and I'm on a GLP-1 and I'm on a microdose and help.
And this is my recipe. What do I do?
What do I do?
All right. Well, I'm Jenn.
I'm Jodi.
And listen, we keep it real. We keep it honest. We try to debunk myths. We ask a lot of questions. We say a lot of crazy shit, but I think this is a wrap, girlfriend.
This is a wrap. Go Bills.